ABC 10 News at 11 starts now.
On the same day, the county opened a fourth vaccination superstation. 2 local universities will also be joining in the effort to vaccinate the population. Good evening. I'm Steve Atkinson.
And I'm Kimberly Hunt. ABC 10 News reporter Anthony Pura has more on the announcement from UC San Diego and San Diego State.
San Diego State University says it's received 300 doses of the vaccine. Meanwhile, a large-scale vaccination site is set to open at UC San Diego. The vaccination superstation near Petco Park was a partnership between San Diego County and UC San Diego Health. Now, UC San Diego Health is looking to open another site capable of vaccinating thousands a day, this time at Remac Arena on the campus of UC San Diego.
The big difference between this site and Petco is this will be a walk-up site. And so unlike Petco, where you stay in your car and do the drive-through, this site will actually be where you park and then you come in, receive the vaccination, and then get back in your car.
Brandon Kramer is with UC San Diego Health. He says the plan is to open the vaccination site on Monday and eventually work its way up to 5,000 vaccinations a day. Kramer says the vaccine supply into the county and UC system is currently limited, but says it's important to build a local distribution infrastructure in anticipation of more doses becoming available.
The leadership in the county and here at UCSD believes very strongly that we should build that capacity now and not wait for the vaccine to be available, because then we'll be behind.
The UC San Diego site will initially focus on vaccinating eligible UC San Diego Health patients and eligible UC San Diego faculty and staff, meaning healthcare workers and those over 65.
We look forward to partnering with the county and others to expand that in the future, but we're starting with those 2 populations and following the state guidance.
Tuesday, San Diego State University says their student health services received 300 doses of the Moderna vaccine. They plan to begin vaccinations later this week for faculty, staff, and students over 65. The university says it will begin reaching out to those who qualify to inform them on how to make an appointment. Anthony Pura, ABC 10 News.
And the county's fourth vaccine superstation in La Mesa was open for business for the first time today. Sharp Healthcare, which manages that site, hopes to give 2,000 doses a day through the weekend. It won't know how many it can give next week until a new shipment of vaccines comes in on Monday or Tuesday. The site is open at Grossmont Center Monday through Friday, 10 to 6. And here are the latest numbers. The county reported fewer than 1,000 cases today for the first time since November. And our positivity rate was 9% today, lowering our 14-day average. 10 more San Diegans have lost their lives to COVID, bringing that total to 2,600.
As parts of our economy begin opening up again, scientists warn that a new wrinkle makes it critical that everyone takes safety measures. San Diego now has the most COVID cases in the state of the new UK variant of the virus. It spreads more easily than earlier forms. Infectious disease experts say if people start gathering in groups again or get sloppy about wearing masks, the new strain could quickly surge.
But the question is whether we can reduce transmissibility and vaccinate enough people so that when this variant becomes the dominant strain, it will not lead to a surge that could potentially overwhelm our healthcare systems.
Right now, the UK strain makes up about 5% of cases, but it spread so quickly that experts believe it will be the dominant strain in San Diego in just a few weeks.
A scare tonight in the North County. You can see a huge number of police cars outside this Target store in Vista. Sheriff's deputies raced to the scene when they started getting calls about gunshots inside. Worried about an active shooter, they began slowly clearing shoppers out of the store. Eventually, they discovered that someone had set off fireworks inside a trash can. Our crew spoke with a shopper who heard the sound.
And all we hear is like boom, 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 boom. It sounded like firecrackers. And we were just like, oh, like I was like, it's gonna be fine. I thought something fell, but my friend's sister thought like it was gunshots and she got really scared. And then, like we heard employees saying like, there's a gun, like.
No one was hurt. Deputies tell us they have not yet made any arrests. San Diego police have arrested a man suspected to have killed a beloved Cathedral Catholic High School teacher and football coach. As our ABC 10 News reporter Rena Nakano explains, the team will always remember Coach Mario Fierro.
His football team says Coach Fierro was a stern but inspirational man, always bringing positive energy to the field. This is not the kind of huddle these kids want to be in. A huddle surrounding candles and flowers, left in memory of their beloved football coach, Mario Fierro.
He didn't deserve what happened, and there's not a mean bone in his body.
The history teacher and football coach at Cathedral Catholic High School was shot and killed Monday morning outside his home in North Park. That evening, San Diego police homicide detectives arrested 30-year-old Jesse Milton Alvarez on suspicion of the murder. The powerhouse team credits their success to the late coach, gone too soon.
He always brought good energy to our lifts, to our practices, and that's what we're really going to miss about him. He was always a positive, vibrant person.
But according to court documents, that vibrant person got caught in a troubling story. Fierro's suspected murderer, Jesse Alvarez, is his fiance's ex-boyfriend. In December 2019, Fierro's fiance, also a Cathedral Catholic teacher, filed a domestic violence restraining order against Alvarez, saying he was stalking her. In her request, she said Alvarez engaged in a pattern of control, manipulation, and emotional abuse. She said after their 3.5-year relationship ended, his behavior became erratic and escalated over time. She changed the locks to her door, installed cameras, and at one point she said he attempted to break into her home. She even filed a police report at that time. Now, despite this request, court records show a judge dismissed the case. More than a year after that ruling, Mario Fierro, newly engaged to Alvarez's ex-girlfriend, was killed, never to set foot on the football field again.
It hurts, like just to know that Fierro won't be here with us anymore, but he's in a better place now, just watching over us.
Rena Nakano, ABC 10 News.
The stage is set for the Senate impeachment trial of former President Donald Trump. Today, Democrats formally laid out their argument against Trump since transmitting their lone article of impeachment, incitement of insurrection against him, to the Senate. The Democratic House managers prosecuting the case depict the January 6th Capitol riot as Trump's last-ditch effort to overturn the 2020 election.
Thus warrants impeachment and trial, removal from office, and disqualification to hold and enjoy any office of honor.
Trump's new legal team says the Senate lacks jurisdiction to remove from office a man who does not hold office. The trial is scheduled to start 1 week from today. Meantime, Capitol Police Officer Brian Sicknick was lying in honor tonight at the very Capitol he gave his life defending, with a congressional tribute for his sacrifice. Officer Sicknick was injured while confronting rioters who stormed the Capitol, later collapsing and taken to the hospital where he died. President Joe Biden and First Lady Dr. Jill Biden were among those who paid their respects to Officer Sicknick tonight.
An explosion on a film set in Los Angeles County earlier this evening left 3 people critically injured. That explosion in Santa Clarita started a small brush fire as well. Crews stopped the forward progress of the blaze at about an acre. All 3 victims suffered 2nd and 3rd degree burns. LA stations are reporting the explosion was caused by a malfunction involving pyrotechnics. No word yet what the movie was.
New tonight, an update on 4 Chula Vista firefighters injured on the job last week. The fire took place at the Action Footwear store on H Street, and tonight we were told 3 of the 4 firefighters were released from the hospital the day after the fire. They are expected back at work in the next 2 to 4 weeks. The other firefighter has a much longer road ahead. He is still in the hospital with burns on more than 20% of his body. The hope is he can return to work within 6 months. And today, investigators ruled the fire was an accident.
The San Diego Police Department is also mourning the sudden death of an officer. The police chief says the officer, David Sisto, became short of breath while doing a welfare check this morning in Carmel Valley. He was taken to the hospital where he passed away. The medical examiner will then determine the cause of death. A 39-year-old Sisto had been with the department more than a decade and leaves behind a wife and 2 young children.
The man accused of stabbing a San Diego police K-9 during a standoff in the Midway district pleaded not guilty. The incident happened a week ago after officers responded to reports of a man identified as Dedrick Jones trespassing at a business. Officers say Jones ran off, climbed on a shipping container, and waved a knife. After several hours, officers sent K-9 Titan to apprehend Jones. and that's when Titan was stabbed. Police arrested Jones not long after. Canine Titan ultimately received more than 100 stitches and is now on the mend. Jones is charged with animal cruelty and resisting arrest.
Former San Diego Mayor Kevin Faulconer formally kicked off his run for governor today.
We shook up San Diego, and we're going to shake up Sacramento.
At a news conference in Los Angeles, Faulconer touted his successes in San Diego while taking shots at what he described as Governor Gavin Newsom's failures.
Newsom promised prosperity, but gave us high costs, higher taxes, and destroyed jobs.
It is still not certain if Faulconer will be running in a regular or a recall election. Organizers of that recall effort say that they are close to gathering the 1.5 million valid signatures required to put it on the ballot. If they succeed, a recall election could be scheduled as early as this summer. Newsom's office did not respond to our request for comment on Faulconer's statements, but last month, a representative for the governor told ABC 10 News that Faulconer was tapping into former President Trump's supporters and a special election would be a waste of tax dollars.
The city is responding to the death of a young man who was hiking at Mission Trails. Investigators believe Max Lanai slipped Friday while crossing the San Diego River. His mother visited the spot where Max slipped and says she saw many other people fall as well. The city of San Diego owns Mission Trails. In a statement tonight, a spokesman said in part, "We continue to urge the public to hike only on city-marked trails when visiting the park. The area where the incident took place does not have a bridge or a maintained trail to allow for safe access to cross the river."